Friday, Japan, winners of the Asia Games Sevens tournament, are up against South Korea, who finished 8th on the Asia Rugby 7 Series last season, so they are up against it. And some of the big names in there: Yumi Okaroda, Fumiko Otake. Look out for number 1 though, always near the action, Chiharu Nakamura, an absolute sevens machine, and vastly inexperienced South Korean side who have only just come onto the series last season, now becoming a permanent fixture. They look to grow and build their team, build their knowledge of each other. They also appeared in the Asian Games, finished 7th, avoiding the wooden spoon, beating Indonesia 27-0 in that 7th and 8th playoff. So a good win for them. Here's Phoenix Xu, a referee from China. Okay, Jed, what are you expecting from Japan? They've been at the Rugby World Cup Sevens, Asian Games winners and perennial favourites.
Well, what to expect from Japan? Possibly what you're going to see in the next 30 seconds. They are an ultimately skillful outfit. They play with accuracy and pace. Very, very well drilled team, and not only they're well drilled, but there's some very intelligent rugby players in there. None more so than the try scorer.
Here she is, Chiharu Nakamura, the MVP of so many tournaments. When she is in the side, this team is worth 10 points at least. That is Japan, playing in the blue and white. Not sure why, against the South Koreans also in the blue and white. The kick is good, so it's an early 7 to Japan. And it'll be a grind here for South Korea as we just rewatch the wraparound from Nakamura. Warren does get a hand on her, but vastly, vastly experienced. As I said,
just set the space so nicely on attack there, and Korea, they fanned out to match them. They should have been trying to condense and push them away from the sticks, maybe back towards the sideline.
Great skills there to scoop that one up on the bounce, and South Koreans letting that one bounce, and on the wraparound, Nakamura throws out a bit of a wobbly one, uncommon for her. Now South Korea, as referee Xu comes back to the knock on. Must be hard to, constantly get yourself up for tournaments on day 1, match 1. You've been at the Asian Games, you've won that. You were in San Francisco. They won the series last year, and have to slowly build their way into these tournaments, get their, rekindle themselves, get their combinations going, and just build it from day 1 right throughout the 3 legs. But that's what must be done.
Well, they love the game. They love it. When they started playing, they were passionate about it. It was long before anybody was talking about tours and contracts and national jerseys. It's all come down the line since they've had their success. Nakamura has been pretty much there every step of the way since we've been watching. She's an Olympian, played with the world champs. She's one of the best in Asia. And if you're a youngster coming up in that Japanese system, the idea of playing with someone like that in your side, well, it's enough to keep you motivated. You'd want to be there with it.
Is Fumiko Otake, and she does well to spin out of a couple of tackles and canter in for a 30-metre effort there. And you want to watch the replay on this one, because that was a good determined bit of pirouetting. And she's all smiles, and that's another great thing about this Japanese side. They love their rugby. They're always smiling. Every try is a bit of a treat for them, and they play the game how it was meant to be played. The kick goes over. Japan out to an early 14-0 lead.
Right, from a standing start, just 2, 3 Koreans in the picture. None of them could really put a hand on the young lass.
Welcome Ano Kuwai to the Facebook feed. We thought you might be down here playing. enjoy. Japan are up by 2-0. There's some dodgy stuff from South Korea. It's come off though.
Outstanding.
Oh.
Skill set.
Come on, referee, let him have it.
That's some of that off-chart skill set that you just can't coach. Can't be coached.
Phoenix Hugh saying, not on my shift. That would have been entertaining if they got away there. Some of the big names not here amongst this Japanese side. Some of the speedsters. Whose names currently evade me. Do some Wikipediaing in a moment. 2 or 3 of their real strike players not here today. But I'm sure they've been replaced by equally capable speedsters in this Japanese rugby machine. Bit of a delay here while the Koreans get their front row sorted. Japan now off a scrum. They go wide with the big loopy passes. It's Susumi. It is one of those finishes. Honoka Susumi in the headgear. This time she delivers on the inside, and Nakamura is there just to swoop in. And even a smile from her as well. Try number 2.
Nakamura showing some good footwork here. And the ball takes it with a player on. A look at that. Just brings the player off balance and leaves it clutching at nothing. Classy.
The work there from Honoka Susumi. She is one of the smallest players in the tournament, height-wise anyway. Just taking on 2, here she is with 2 tacklers all over her, gets the arms free. She still hangs around in case there's another pass coming her way. She's a class act as well. No doubt we'll see a lot more of her. But Nakamura in for a second try. 17 points to 0. As we come to this final part of the first half, and just once again the restarts there not being handled, knocked on by the South Koreans. Here now comes Nagata. It's a tough old game when you can't handle those restarts, and we've seen that in all 4 matches so far. The underdogs already up against it, really, and just gifting the ball back at the restarts. We saw Melody Lee from Hong Kong absolutely blazing form, chasing those restarts, and each of these top tier teams are so good at their restarts. They're getting it right on the money, and they're chasing hard. South Korea with a line out to go for the underarm pass, and the Japanese were ready, waiting for that one. Hirano comes away with it. Here's Nakamura. Fires one out to Susumi. Puts on a little bit of goose there. Tries to get on the outside. Does get on the outside. Oh, that's unbelievable from Honoka. How has she got around the outside there? That is just superb.
What a remarkable piece of running, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully the replay will do this justice. We're basically looking at a girl. If she's scratching 5'5", I'll be surprised, to be honest. But such balance, the conversion attempt, that's wayward. That's a half-time score, but my word, that was an absolute bottler. By gee,
that's a joy to watch. Up against the sideline, up against 2 bigger players, somehow shakes them. And they finish the half 22 points to 0 ahead. And like the other big guns before them, they are showing that they're here for business. They're not warming up into this tournament slowly. They're going full guns blazing. Nakamura's first one, Jed.
Yeah, just again, just classy work by Japan. They spread the defence, and they tuck in now. Pushes one away, skips through the tackle of a third, trots one in, big grin to come after that, as we said. And Japan just masters at moving that ball around. Superb work by Nakamura again with very little room. And here, what about this one? There's the fend. You go away. You can't catch me. Well, it's hard to understand which part of the laws of physics do not apply to this young lady, to be honest.
She really is a diamond.
That is remarkable. Beautiful balance. Could not be knocked off. You barely get a hand on it. It's a terrible feeling when you're 8 or 9 inches longer than the person you're trying to tackle and you get the big shove in the chest. That's just like a slap in the face.
So Coach Hitoshi Inada was in there giving some words, and Coach Sung Leong Cho from Korea, who have struggled to score tries on the series last year, showed some improvement towards the end. A great game against Singapore in one of the playoffs, which showed they'd made some improvements. You don't get many opportunities against a side like Japan. When you do have it, you're just under all sorts of pressure. The sorts of pressure that you just cannot be put under at training. This is live fire against the world's, well, Asia's best, and one of the top teams in the world. They've got such a great bond, as you said. They've been to the Olympics together, been to the Rugby World Cup together. Those sorts of tournaments, really just amazing for culture and bond and understanding. But here come the Koreans then. And
straight on, beautiful work.
Pilfered there by Candy from the baby. Now the Koreans got to go to defensive mode as there's a bit of a numbers game on the outside here. They're lining up. A bullet gets out past to Susumi. She can't beat the opponent this time. And look at the footwork there from Yumi Hirano. She was one of the other finds of the season, the series in 2017, and she finishes us off. You get Hirano and Susumi running down the same flank at you, and you're in trouble all day.
Well, what about the step from Hirano? Led off back. Look at, there we go. Now this girl has set them up all day, but this was beautiful work. Here we go. Boom. See you later. Back on the outside. Now that's some cunning work.
A little part of my meniscus tore when she did that step. Again, you caught it there, Jed. Susumi taking on the defence. Here she is. She did it in the first half, took on 2 tacklers, set up Nakamura for the try. Here she is this time. Still a lot of work to be done, and these players blow the way to the try line. 5 tries then to Japan, starting to build a big one here. Long time to go, and look at that for a restart. That is a cracker. Straight into the arms of Kozasa, who's on. She might have been turned here. No. Great tackler not getting away there. Here comes Bativa Kololo. What an impact player she could be. She's got her head in the right place. Nakamura is going to go in for a hat-trick there. Takes the bounce pass there, and those can be hard to defend, can't they? And under the post for her third.
Well, poor career at the moment, absolutely shell-shocked. It's almost like there's just blue shadows running around. Conversion attempt successful. Nakamura, well, again, just calm. The ball's bouncing there. It looks like it's out of control. Rolls off. Korean defence, no one ultimately committed onto the ball or the player. And a simple try for the legendary Nakamura.
3 tries already. Wow. Who's to bid against her being MVP for this tournament, this series, even at this early stage, as Kozasa goes through with the big tackle on her opposite Guam. The Koreans rare bit of ball, showing some good footwork there from Hio, and they just give it back to Nakamura. Oh no, and the sight of Nakamura running in for a 4th try. Wow. Maybe not so demoralising when you know she's one of the world's best players, but What a thief she is.
Well, what can you do? Sometimes the ball just comes across the field and finds you. You've got to put yourself in the right place at the right times, but still, Japan, the conversion attempt, not quite on target, but they managed to keep that ball moving. Look at this.
It's Hirano, the deliverer this time.
Just pressure, suffocating pressure from the Japanese women.
They look full of beans still. They're going to play Hong Kong later today. That'll be a big matchup here. If you're watching this and you're on Hong Kong, get down for that one. They go deep this time. The Koreans have to start. Look at that. Going down, not supporting her weight. Line call, I reckon. But anyway, South Korea now with a couple of minutes to try and build something. Not easy. In fact, incredibly difficult.
Well, it makes things terribly hard, doesn't it? You've spent most of the game watching the other team play with the ball. You know you're going to get the ball back in what position you've got. The pressure's on you to try and score something. So it's almost like a repeating negative loop. They get further away, it gets harder and tougher. See what Korea can muster up here, though.
Tiva Kololo in number 2 there with the headgear. She makes the tackle. Scooting around the side goes Min. Number 11 for South Korea. Second consecutive penalty, but Phoenix Shu says you're a couple of inches off the mark there, Lee Min Hui. And do games like this improve the losing side, Jed? There's a raging debate, isn't there?
Well, you've got to have a winner and a loser when you're playing a game like this. Yeah, it does. It does. You've got to really, I mean, physically, they haven't been tested so much, but they've just been tested on skill and mental toughness. And that's the muscle that needs the biggest workout, the ability to hang tough when it's not going your way. What little possession they do get, if Korea can take some yards or make some positive tackles or make some positive play, take some positives out of the performance, regardless of what the scoreline says, then yeah, it does make them better.
Not easy for South Korea. They've got Japan and Hong Kong and Thailand in their group. It's a real tough group. The fun will begin tomorrow for them when they get to the playoffs. Nakamura with the nice ball out wide. It goes to Kozasa, and she's not going to need Bativa Kololo. She brings it round under the posts for yet another try there. And as the South Koreans stand around all over their half of the pitch, their hands on their hips, they've been spat out through the mincer here. It's almost hard to say they've done a lot wrong. It's just ruthless, really. And conversion is good. And referee Shu calls this game to an end. Comprehensive by the Japanese. They put a big one on here. As we just look at this last try again, Nakamura with the try. And look how she just runs off in support there initially to kind of block the runner there, number 9's bag. And Kozasa gets her try. And South Korea have been dotted. They get 0. Japan get 46. That's the end of the first 4 games.